is this is the first IUL product that's been designed specifically with and specifically for family first line. The maximum face amount that the product will have is $1 million, which is more than 3 times what you're likely to get on other leading competitor products. Top 50 Ethos IUL writers from Monday through the end of the year are going to be entered into a sweepstakes to win a
All right. Well, thanks for joining us this week on the Elite Sales Podcast. I'm happy to be joined in the studio this week. John Backron, co-host as usual.
How we doing?
We got another guest, Paola Alvarez. She may be running late. She may be joining us next time. But either way, we got a packed show today. How's your week going?
Getting better, decent, I would say.
Good. I mean, Darren's got a really good week going on. He's got a good last couple months going on, but I'm gonna have him come on in just a sec. So hang tight for us, Darren. How's your week improving, and what's going on?
Yeah, so from our last week's conversation, we're delving into creating our own marketing and getting our own lead sources, right? So we're playing around with Facebook marketing, and come to find out, when you're marketing to seniors, there's no options for age gaps with Facebook. It's either all and everyone, meaning that any age, or the cutoff is 65 and under. So if you pick everyone and anyone, it's going to market to 65 plus. So prior to that, a week to 2 weeks before that, I'm talking to nobody but 83-year-olds, 87-year-olds, 89-year-olds. My oldest was 92, which is out of our capacity, you know? And even if we can sell them, the pricing is like ridiculous. They're asking for $25,000 at 87, 88. I'm quoting $600. They're on a fixed budget. It wasn't happening. So we fixed our marketing. We switched it over from 65 and under. And now I'm talking to more, coherent people, less senile, more understanding of what they're actually looking for, needing life insurance, and can function with the internet, texting, can sign, and all these things. So the aggressiveness of the client, the rebuttals, it's more streamlined now. So we made some sales along the way in just the last couple of days from it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, an elite is elite is elite. I mean, obviously we've been working on this little project here, and it's been really cool. I think it has been cool because it's taken us a few weeks before we even saw any results. And in the meantime, we were paying into it.
Yeah.
So like, goodbye thousands of dollars, but that's all part of the process when it comes to running a business. Like, you got to invest something in order for you to be able to get a return, which is a perfect segue for an IUL, which we're going to get into in just a little bit. If you're not going to see immediate returns, but if you don't start at some point, you're never going to see any return. But as far as generating leads and working on that whole system, yeah, I'm having a particularly good week myself. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, how was your week?
Yeah, I didn't really care about what's going on. Yeah, that was a segue for myself to talk.
Oh, I got it. I missed the cue. My fault.
No, I think it's important to hear from different people, and I think people's perspectives on the same event happening. Sometimes it's a little eye-opening because you're like, I don't really relate with this person, but maybe I do with this person. So sometimes it's just that little key that makes you, just inspires you to think, okay, well, what could I have done differently?
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm having a good week is not because of any particular amount of AP or sales or anything like that, but I did make my first sale off of Rockstar Leads, which started not too long ago, that we were tweaking with a bunch of different things. So like I went into this whole endeavor just mainly to try to learn and try to understand how do we build out this type of campaign? What do we need to do here? I've been working with Landon, Darren White's guy, who Darren obviously has been doing tremendously well with that whole campaign. His team is really picking things up, and I think that's an awesome avenue that people can go. That's not the only thing, obviously. So if you feel like, what if I don't want to do that? There's tons of options out there. But if with Darren's campaign, I mean, with Rockstar Leads, I mean, I had someone that filled out a lead. She saw my ad, filled out the information, booked her own appointment, got on my landing page, booked her own appointment. Then after I spoke to her in the afternoon, the same day, and when I called her, she knew exactly what it was about. I asked her some questions like, what were you mainly looking to take care of today? What's been on your mind? And then she went through a couple of things. I was on live dial, so people could hear me stumble my way through. And people heard, it was just really cool to have a quality conversation. She was looking for an IUL, but she was a little bit older. We presented a couple options, and then she went with the plan. And then also she has a couple of annuities. She got a couple of annuity opportunities because she has a lump sum of money from a life insurance policy. Her husband left her when he passed away. Okay, so and then she said, "Yeah, I've been looking to do something with this. It's sitting in my bank account. I know it's not the best place, but I don't really know what to do with it."
Yep, she's scared, right?
Yep. So then I was like, perfect. Let me present a couple of options to you. She's also got an old 401k that we're looking to move. So like it was just a great opportunity. So the production was an okay sized amount, but it wasn't like anything to like retire on for me to be like, I won the lottery.
Yeah.
But that it made me happy because I'm like, you see progress, and then you're like, cool, we're going the right direction. And for me, it's never been about the money. It's always every time I make a sale or see something in terms of a lead vendor or a campaign or anything like that, my mind immediately goes to it's never how much money can I make on this. My mind immediately goes to how can I scale this thing? How can I distribute this out to more people so that we have more people on the team making money?
Yeah.
And it, like, I'm not Mother Teresa. It's not like I don't care about money whatsoever. Like, I just know it's all about the team first. And I know if I do a good job with all that and I can help more people make more money, just mathematically speaking, I will make more money that way. So I forego a little bit of my own selfish desires. And it's not because I'm a virtuous person. I mean, I do care about people and I love people, but thing is, like, I recognize business is business. If you can help other people and put other people in a position to win, then you can win in that process too, instrumentally.
Right.
Also, another cool thing was, as soon as I made that sale, I was like, okay, cool. I mean, like, this is the process. If we're developing a system this way, if I plug into this, I can have people plug into Rockstar Leads. They can get to this campaign vendor, whatever it is. If we can get people in, immediately I sent the results to a couple of my friends that I've been talking to for a while. These are friends across the country that have been doing really well in their work. I mean, they make money. They're not really necessarily looking for other work, but we've always talked about partnering together. We've always talked about working together at some capacity. So for me, I was like, all right, well, here's what happened throughout the process. Here's how the lead was generated. Here's how much I paid into it. Here, at your commission level that I'd be starting you at, here's how much you would make.
Yeah. And
then, like, I got 3 calls back and they're just like, all right, let's talk. And then this morning I talked to one of them, got him contracted this morning. He's out in Georgia. My buddy Dominic, who I saw a couple weeks ago. Then we got my buddy Zay, he's like on it. He's like, that makes sense. He's like, we can plug more people into this. My guys can make money. I'll make money off of it. He's starting his pre-licensing course. And then I got another guy who I'm very happy to say I got him to quit his job.
Well, he's not really a job either, though, right?
He got into insurance also, but then the thing was, like, it's been like 8 weeks of training, and like he hasn't sold a single policy. Like, they're overtraining the heck out of him, and I'm like, it shouldn't be this complicated.
Yeah,
I'm like, training's great. That's all fine and dandy, but the reality is you're going to learn the majority of what you're going to learn by going out and doing.
Yeah,
by going out and messing up. And this is the whole process of us working on this particular project. Like, yeah, we started getting some results the last few weeks, the last couple of days, between you, Derek, Trent, Paola, everyone's starting to pick. Mark has been picking things up. So it's been really great to see. But behind it was maybe 3 weeks of nothing.
Yeah.
3 weeks of nothing, of just me dumping money into this thing and just counting up, just watching the deposits continue to trickle away. But that's also what I got into it for. I mean, like, I knew that it wasn't going to give you immediate results, and we knew we were going to take some time. I knew we were going to make a ton of mistakes. Mm-hmm. So, like, for me, I actually love the process of this whole thing rather than the end result. Like, I love the work that we're doing. I love the collaboration, the constant conversations that we're having. Because, like, I'm texting you and Derek and Trent and Mark and Paola throughout the day, just like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And I'm sure some of you guys get, it bugs you guys, but I don't care. I'm gonna continue to text, because I think this information, the more data that we get, the quicker we can get to the end result.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think what's exciting, though, think of it like, if the people you're dealing with, or the people you can recruit with it. Okay. So this is the FFL system. This is the Elite system. It's a machine, right? You have to have a fully functioning machine, because if you just try to recruit somebody and say, we sell life insurance, we just need to get in front of people and we sell and we make a good amount of money, people are going to be like, yeah, okay, that's great. Where's the process? How? Right? You had a conversation with one of your buddies that has capital. He has money, so he's not in desperation to make money, but he wants to make more money with his money. So he's got to look at it from a business perspective. How is this business functioning? Where can I be a cog into the machine? How can I make it roll? How do I grow? Where's the scale? That's where the lead system comes in. If you have a proven lead system that's working, people are succeeding, we just need to get the right individuals in it, it's going to make sense. And then they're willing to go in for it.
Right. Yeah, I'm not looking to live paycheck to paycheck. So I'm not thinking about, oh, how do I make this amount of money? It's more about, okay, that can make money. So how do I systematize this to be able to bring other people in so they can kind of recreate some of this stuff? Then that's exactly what my buddy Tom was looking to get into. He has a full company to run. He's got a bunch of side businesses. So he really wanted to just be in a position to invest. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'll help you with the training. I'll help you with your guys. If they need help, I'm working all the time anyway. So they can reach out to me for whatever. And in the meantime, if you want to just keep feeding people into the funnel, like, then we're going to plug them into a system, and then they're going to make mistakes too. And they're going to go through their pains, but that's part of the process. I'm not going to tell them you're not going to experience that same type of thing. So just trying to set that realistic expectation for other people. And yes, I want my friends to win. Definitely. I want everyone on the team to win, but it's not just like at the expense of myself. I'm going to continue to sacrifice everything to make sure that they win, because at some point I'll be like, what's the point of me doing this?
Yeah.
On the flip side, I don't want it to be like, how do I get the most out of this person? And like, how do I squeeze this one agent and make the most money that I personally can? Because they're not going to see the point after a while. They're going to be like, I can go somewhere else and do something else. Yeah. So how do we create win-wins? And that's every time like I have a little bit of success or see something where I see progress, I'm like, my mind automatically goes to, how do I create more of a win-win to include more people? Because like if we have more people with the same mindset, people on the same mission, people that just want to do the same thing, so we all have an opportunity to grow bigger and get there a lot faster,
make more money at the same time.
And plus, I mean, it's just it really is just fun. I mean, like, yeah, all the stuff that we've been talking about, you know, with you, me, and Derek throughout the day, and like with Trent and everybody, I'm just like, I'm having fun with it. So,
and in the ability, you know, if they're self-booking, if we can fine tune that, you know, it's going to take a lot of the not to say it sucks, but it does suck, but a lot of the work of the dialing and more spending on the dialing and talking to the clients.
Which, I mean, just to touch on that point, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's an automated process, but I recognize I have a lot of wasted resources that I've never actually went through and called, because like I've been busy with different things, and you know, I didn't have a chance to actually sit down and call through all of them. So you definitely need to call also. So we're not saying, hey, you can plug it into the system, you don't have to work.
Right.
Like you got to work. So just something that we're working on. I just wanted to kind of share that perspective, because I think whenever you guys have a little bit of success, I mean, good for you. I mean, you've earned it. You know, you deserve all that credit, and I'm glad you're making that money. But if you're thinking next level, like, how do I share this with somebody else and then make this into a business? This is how you multiply your efforts. This is how you multiply your ability to be able to make money. And I mean, I would think that's like a attractive idea for most people. So
yeah, definitely think about like, okay, so first achieve the success, repeat the success, and now how do I scale this, and how can I replicate it for someone else to follow what I just went through?
Right. And then, and for the people that just think, oh man, we got to something. We figured it out. Let's hoard this information so no one else can get it. I mean, that's not really a business model, and it feels like the bottom's going to fall out of that type of thinking anyway at some point, whatever that particular model happens to be. So, I mean, just continue to work. If you continue to work, you're going to continue to get more ideas, because a lot of the stuff that we're working on at the moment, we didn't even know when we first started. It's one of those things you pick up as you continue to go along. And, you know, by talking to guys like Darren and talking to Terrence and all these other guys, like, you know, you get some ideas, you start to understand the overall process, and you don't really understand it till you run it yourself and actually do it and actually make your mistakes and screw things up royally.
Yep.
And then just know, hey, look, it's okay. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So speaking of rock star leads, got a real rock star that I would like to speak to. Darren, are you on with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Loving the fits, by the way. You look fabulous.
You know, I didn't want all this money to go to my head or nothing, so I'm just, you know.
You look ready for a vacation. You look ready for a cruise.
Whatever.
Well,
I dress this way for a reason.
Yeah, Darren dressed this way for a reason, and I'm this isn't what he looks like every single day. I mean, that glow, but not necessarily the outfit. But I'm very happy to share. You know, Darren has been, you know, working really hard. He's gone through some surgery and all that stuff, and during that time, you know, he still continued to work and no excuses. Continue to put in that time, and he's developed out this whole Rockstar Leads program with Landon and with his team. So I mean, no one really deserves the success more than he does. You know, he also has been through his ups and downs. You know, he didn't come out the gate like roaring. So, you know, it was one of those things. It made me really happy to see his progression. But the reason why he's dressed this way, no, it's not Halloween yet. The reason for it is because Darren, he just qualified for that cruise, that FFL competition that the FFL put out. So he is going to that all paid for cruise to the Bahamas, and I'm so happy for you. I'm looking forward to
congratulations, Darren.
You enjoy that.
We're gonna do a little special clap for you.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah,
you guys hear that?
So first time my wife and I have ever won anything, and thanks, Terrence. And yeah, man, we're pumped. My wife, I was telling her about it, and she's like, I've been telling her for like a month. I've kind of known for a little bit I was going to hit it. Actually hit that in 11 weeks. And however many families you want to say.
100 families.
Anyway, I don't even know how many that is. But in about 11 weeks, we hit it. And so I told Becky, I said, we qualified. And she's like, no, I don't believe you. And so really, until last week, and I reached out, or just a few days ago, I reached out and the FFL and talked to him. He said, "Oh yeah, you qualified." So I wanted to hear the word from them, and I told her, "Well, my wife is a longtime school teacher, home ec teacher, and she was like, oh no." I'm like, "What do you mean, oh no?" She's like, "I'm gonna have to take." It says right before her competition, like the day we're gonna literally have to fly back from the cruise and do an all-nighter so she can get back and go to her competition next day. But hey, as an ex-wrestling coach, I get the competition, right? She's competitive, so that's a pretty cool deal. So
right,
and we're pumped.
So I mean, I mean, to be able to help 100 families in the span of 3 months, I mean, that's obviously your best span of your career. Absolutely. What made the difference? Hope you're enjoying the video so far. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, anything to help support the algorithm so we can continue to bring you more valuable content and continue to be part of your lives. Also, if you don't feel that it's providing you that much support since you're already at this point, like and subscribe anyway.
Yeah, so it really was about finding my niche, finding what I really was good at, and so you guys know I used to do everything. I did mortgage protection. I traveled all over the place and drove 3 hours to one appointment. And, you know, it is what it is. You make good money. I make good money in mortgage protection, but not scalable, not like this, you know, and 10 or 12 families a month, you know, and it wasn't bad money. I mean, God, that's compared to my teacher salary, it was pretty good. But it wasn't 50 families, you know. So what I found the difference was I found a reliable lead source that we literally built and said, this is what we want to do. And we tweaked it, and we tweaked it, and we tweaked it until it became almost perfected. And never perfected because you can always get better. But I'm telling you, after yesterday, I was thinking it was about the best thing since sliced bread. Literally yesterday, I'm not lying. If you were in my office, you would have seen this. I got 5 phone, or it was the day before yesterday, 5 phone calls, people calling me saying, "Are you Darren?" "Yes." "Can you tell me a little bit about this program?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you think?" "Sure, I can." "You got time right now?" "Yep, absolutely." Closed 3 of the 5 calls. The other 2 we set appointments on, and helped 6 families out of those 3 calls. And so that was people calling me, not me calling them. Wow. I didn't make any dials yesterday. It was all either I was on the phone with those people that had called me, or I was on my texting people, because we got to really I think what's really made our program different than any other program is we have this thing set up and we fine-tune it. Literally, we spent 45 minutes this morning reworking it with Landon and Trish and myself, saying, what can we do better? We think that they're getting reached too much, and we're going to try to hone it in, but we want specific text and voicemails being sent to them at certain times. And what we're finding is these guys are calling us, and these guys are texting us saying, when can we meet? And that's gold. In life insurance agency, that's gold. So last Thursday, I had a training in my office, or maybe Wednesday, day before our meeting. So last Wednesday, I had a training. I had two agents come in. One agent, he had been in selling insurance for 33 years. He worked for big companies like New York Life and some of the couple of really big companies. And he said, Darren, I've been in corporate office. He said, what I witnessed today, he said, I've never seen anything like it, ever. The guy went and gave his 2-week resignation after he left that day. He said, I can't, like what you created is people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and they're not even coming close that day. So I had 7 people literally call me that day. That was a really good day. They called 7 people while they were in my office and they're like, you're joking, right? Like, no, I'm talking to them, trying to close them, setting up appointments. But that's what we did that day. So how did it work? We finally just worked it. 5 years of doing this until you kind of figure out, okay, maybe I should try it myself. And I went out, I quit being cheap. I put the money into hiring somebody that was very good. And you know how good Landon is. He's incredible. But what I like about him is he lets you talk and said, okay, let's fix it. And we just perfected it. The Rockstar Elite has been really I can see us doing for now on off of it, and our 50 families. So
it's all good. You earned that cruise. You can violate FTC rules and they don't mean anything.
He's gonna do that.
Nice.
So Darren, before we get to Brad, just wanted to ask. So for you to be able to help 50 families in a month, do you have any particular special skills that other people don't have that sets you apart, that makes this like something where only you can do and not other people can do?
Hell no. So I am an old freaking wrestling coach in Oklahoma, right? I'm just an old down to earth boy. Didn't know a dang thing about selling insurance. I used to tell people I can show you how to hit a double leg all day long, but man, you tell me the difference between a term and a whole life. And when I started this business, I didn't have a clue. But I don't do anything different than anybody else other than I go to podcasts just like this. I went to Andrew Taylor's today. Speaking of which, I don't know if to tell him, but next Thursday, Andrew called me and asked me to be a special guest on his podcast. So it's kind of a big deal. So I'm going to be on there next Thursday on Andrew's podcast too, and talking. But no, just listen, get educated, and always be coachable. I think being a former wrestling coach, I understand the importance of never thinking you've got it all figured out, but always listening to the next best thing and trying to figure out what's going on and learn. Never stop learning. Even today in our 45-minute meeting we had with Middleton and Trish, we were saying, what can we do better and how can we be better? And we do our own Zoom calls at the Rockstar team, and we listen to each other and we critique each other. We help each other make sales. Like we do all that together, but it's I guess the big thing is just never stop learning, man, because you never get there.
Right. Well, I mean, that's one of the biggest compliments I can give you. You've just never quit, even though, you've been through some tough times and, you could have at certain points, but you've continued to push through and you deserve all the success there. I'm super happy for you.
Thank you, Albert. Do you remember the time when I sent you a long text? And Albert talked me off the ledge so many times over the last 5 years. I hope you deleted those texts because I would hate for you to bring those back up. Brother, you can believe, guys, I've been through I've been to hell and back a bunch of times, man. So just whether it's physical issues or financial issues. I almost went back to teaching again, and God knows I didn't want to do that. But thank God, persistence, right? You stay with it and, brought me where I'm at. So appreciate it. I couldn't have done it
Awesome.
without Albert. I promise that.
No, it was all you, but I'm happy to be part of the journey with you. So,
Thank you, man.
all right. Well, enjoy your cruise. I mean, that's coming up in November, I believe. So you still got a little bit of time to work on that 10 line.
Yeah, there you go.
But appreciate you, and congratulations for all your success. But yeah, no, Darren's absolutely right. I mean, the campaign I'm working on with his guy Landon Middleton as well. We just had a call with him earlier too, and that's the thing people need to understand. It's not a finished product from day one, because part of it is you. A big part of it is what you're putting into it. And he asked me how the campaign was going. I'm like, yeah, the leads are coming in. I'm like, the reason why I probably haven't had more sales than what it is because my scheduling, there was a couple A2P issues and that stuff, which that can be worked out. But I'm like, yeah, I definitely botched some of them. Like, I didn't know what to say. Like, this is a brand new campaign. I'm trying to figure things out. So like, I got more comfortable as things went on with more experience. And yesterday's was a perfect example. I'm like, okay, at least I know what to say now. So then I humbled myself to be able to recognize it's me. Like, I can, if it's my fault, then at least I can fix it. Mm-hmm. If it's some other external, thing I'm choosing to focus on, like the reason why this isn't working, then I can't fix it. So I'm always going to stay in control that way. But interesting thing was, I also been talking to a few nurses, and a lot of them were looking for a retirement. They were looking for, certain insurance products that fit a certain thing. And so, I mean, an IUL kept popping up, and, and IULs are great. It's a great tool. It's not for everybody necessarily, but, there's always challenges with it. Like, I signed up for a person with a policy for her kid. I think like 2.5 months ago. They've been having a difficult time getting the APS, the attending physician statement, getting doctor's records. It was not that big of a policy. I always thought it was going to go through no problem, but this is one of our other carriers that's a reputable company that underwriting is generally pretty smooth. And I was thinking, no problem, we get this person approved. Kept sitting there. And after like close to 3 months, they just said, oh, we got to postpone this because based on information, we can't approve them. Yeah. So I'm like, I could have went with something else in this entire time. The client's been waiting for this policy. So I think that perfectly segues into our next part. Brett from Ethos.
Hey, Albert.
Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us. We know you got a busy schedule, and for us to get a little sneak peek about the IUL product you guys are launching on Monday, October 2nd. This is really exciting for us to be able to hear.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here with you. Thank you for having me again, and always a pleasure to join. I'm having withdrawal symptoms from not being in the studio with you, but thank you.
Yeah, we miss you here.
Come back for dinner.
Yeah.
I'm excited. To share the sneak peek as you say ahead of our launch on Monday, and love to get into it.
Awesome. So I sent you some questions to kind of be able to do some research ahead of time.
Yeah.
Do you want me to ask you the questions, or are you just gonna run with everything and just give us the information we need?
Yeah. Well, tell me what you're most interested in, and I can definitely give you the rundown.
Well, first, for me, I heard it's not available in California.
Yeah. Right now, it's not available. I think we should say the word is yet, not available yet. So there are a few states where we are pending the regulatory approvals. California is one of them. California, we expect to be online in early 2024. So we do have to wait for the regulator there. Oregon is going to be late Q4, late this quarter. And then there are just under a handful of states, Florida, the Dakotas, and South Carolina, which we don't have to wait very long for at all. Mid-October, they'll be online. But otherwise, all other states except the island of New York will already be available on Monday.
Wow. Okay. And just before you guys send angry emails over to Brett, it's not Ethos's fault. We have these pesky Department of Insurance and insurance commissioners that they got to go through compliance before they approve these products. So yeah, hopefully California gets through soon.
I know. I'm just sad that we don't get to be in the iPad contest.
Well, we can. We just have to write another state, right?
You can, just to be clear. So it's just clients that are residents in those states, you wouldn't be able to sell to, but clients residents in any other state, as long as you're licensed in that state as an insurance agent, you'll be able to sell to them.
Okay.
So,
this is good.
Don, I really hope I can give you an iPad.
Awesome. Can California residents that's currently in a different state be
They-
written? Or no.
They have to be resident in the state that you're writing them in.
Got it.
So we can't go to Vegas for a night and sign ourselves up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's back that up a little bit then.
Yeah.
So you heard my scenario earlier about
Hmm.
the client that thought the kid was healthy, thought it wasn't going to be an issue. We waited 3 months before I can give her the bad news and have to pivot anyway. So
Yeah.
what makes your product different from a lot of the other traditional IULs out there?
Right. So, Albert, I guess first I'd say what makes it different is this is the first IUL product that's been designed specifically with and specifically for Family First Life. I don't know if many people know that, but we're actually been working really closely with FFL to design a product that maximizes the agent's ability to sell more. That's our primary objective. That means you'll get to protect more clients, but then also help you to recruit more agents to your organization. If you're building your organization and IUL is something that is attractive to them, FFL is the only org at the moment that has access to this new IUL product that was built with and for it specifically. So wanted to call that out off the top. But really, what makes this product different from IULs all comes down to how do we make the product easier to sell for the agent? How do we help agents to sell more and more efficiently? Three main areas, Albert. First one is it's what you become used to with Ethos, a simple, speedy platform. It's going to be the first end-to-end quote to application experience on a single platform for IUL that exists in the marketplace. It's going to be super simple and easy to use. No more fragmented experience with quoting on one platform and then moving to another website to start your application and re-entering your data. It's all going to be a seamless end-to-end process, which means it's going to take on average only 15 minutes to go from quote to decision. For an IUL product, where that would normally take 45 minutes, maybe to an hour. So we're really excited about the difference that can make in agents' lives. And then something I know you can't typically get on many competitor products at the moment is being able to view the illustration with the client while you're quoting. Typically, you'll need to quote on a platform and then do the illustration later separately and then only be able to show the client then. On our platform, you're going to be able to access at the click of a button mid-quotation what the illustration looks like and actually have that interaction with the client live. So simple, speedy platform is the first one. The second one is you're going to be able to cover more clients with this product than with other products, more coverage options. The maximum face amount that the product will have is $1 million, which is more than 3 times what you're likely to get on other leading competitor products. Many other products in the same space only offer to a maximum of $300,000 max coverage. And so you'll be able to just cover clients who are looking for more coverage. Typically, products in this space, you'll have 2 choices of risk class. You'll either be able to choose a standard tobacco or a standard non-tobacco. This product will have 6 risk classes, 2 tobacco, 4 non-tobacco, plus table 1 through 10 substandard. So you'll be able to cover more clients and have them pay a premium that's more applicable to their actual risk status. And then lastly, on this more coverage options, any clients that don't qualify for our IUL product will be automatically rerouted to True Stage Advantage whole life product, which is a simplified issue whole life product. It's also 100% instant decision. But instead of maybe call it 50% of your clients, which might not qualify for an IUL, not having an option on other competitor sites that you might go to, you're going to have this backup plan to offer to that portion of your client base. And a reminder, if you haven't already seen all the communications, True Stage Advantage whole life now pays 30% more commission to FFL agents. And so financially, we think that makes sense for agents as well. And finally, I want to just touch on sales support. So we provide comprehensive agent training. Albert, I'll let you have the link to the pre-recorded trainings if you haven't already attended one. I'll give you the link where you can go to learn more about the product. But
Sure.
There'll also be compelling client education, including a personalized policy highlights report that we'll build into the illustration. So instead of having to take your client through 40 pages of small print writing. You're going to have like a beautiful 5-page document at the front of that, which really just gives the policy highlights and helps you speed the client's consideration of the purchase and actually activate their policy. And so all of this makes us different. We believe we're really proud of what we've built, and we really believe it will just make it easier for agents to sell more efficiently.
Right. Well, I know you guys have been taking some input and taking ideas and suggestions from Family First Life agents, and I think I applaud you for that, because I mean, if this is the products we're going to be trying to sell, or we will be selling, obviously we need to be working hand in hand to tailor those plans. Something you spoke about earlier, this is a question I've always had. So you guys are technically fully underwritten, but you can get an instant decision. So in an event where a client applies for a policy for an IUL, and then they don't get approved for an IUL and they get rerouted to a true stage, if they don't take it out, is that a ding on their MIB? It's like they applied for something and it shows as a decline for going forward?
No. Running a quote for a client or not actually submitting the IUL application for them, which is what it would be if they got routed to true stage, wouldn't result in any MIB activity for the client. Right. It's only once that IUL application itself is actually submitted to the carrier, which in this case is Emeritus. Emeritus is the carrier that's providing the IUL product. It's only at that stage that it would be reported as insurance activity. And by the way, for this product, applicants would qualify for this product, provided they haven't had applications for life insurance more than 4 times in the last 12 months, not counting any of the Ethos carriers. So any non-Ethos carriers, as long as they haven't applied for more than 4 other life insurance policies in the last 12 months, they'll qualify for this IUL product.
Awesome. So it doesn't take away their MIB prior, unless, of course, from a decline from someone else.
They factor. So in my situation from earlier, this kid was postponed. So I don't, let's just say it was declined for all intents and purposes here. Yeah. Will he still be eligible to apply for a policy with you guys?
He can certainly apply for a policy without knowing the specifics, but what we've done is we've got an amazing 1-page underwriting knockout guide, which we've included as part of the flow for this IUL product. So on the quoting page, there's a little button that you can click on that can take you directly to this 1-page underwriting knockout guide. You can know ahead of time even who is going to qualify, who is not going to qualify for the products. That can save you the time of having to go through the process if you know they won't qualify. So it's one of the resources we're providing to make your lives easier and more efficient.
And where will we be able to find the underwriting guide? It's on the portal itself, or?
Yeah, it's going to be in a couple of places. So both in the quoting flow on our site, when you're doing a quote, there'll be a little button with the underwriting knockout guide. You can click on it and it will pop up right there. But you'll probably want to also look at it beforehand. And so in the resources tab of your Ethos agent portal, we also have it in there, along with a whole lot of other stuff, which I can cover a bit later too.
Great. It's really cool. So Micah Durkers has a couple questions for you. So first of all, what indices does the IUL use?
So we've got 5 indices and a fixed interest account option. The default index that we use for what we're calling our smart solve option is the S&P 500 1-year point-to-point. We also offer a 2-year point-to-point S&P 500 index option. And then we've got 3 volatility control accounts, the S&P 500 sector rotator index, and then 2 BNP Paribas multi-asset indices. One is a 1-year point-to-point, the other one's a 2-year point-to-point. So those 5, in addition to a fixed interest account option.
Great. All right. And if anyone's on here watching, if you guys have questions about the different indices and what is 1-year point-to-point, 2-year point-to-point, reach out to us. We'll get that information. We're not going to spend all that time here. He also asked a question: are we paid up to the target premium?
Yeah, commissions paid up to target premium on the product.
Okay. And what was the comp on that? Is it full comp?
Yeah, so comp, maybe I can share a few things around comp in general. So number one, comp is very competitive for this product. Now, each FFL agent is going to be able to view their specific comp for this product on the earnings tab of your Ethos agent portal. Obviously varies by which level you're at. So you can go on Monday, you'll see in your earnings tab of your agent portal, you'll be able to see what comp you're getting paid. I can assure you that it's very competitive, so that should be a good surprise, I believe. If you have any questions about your comp level, you can contact your upline or the FFL contracting department.
Right.
I want to say, in addition to the comp being very competitive, I'm really happy to announce that Ethos IUL product is the only IUL product that's currently 100% bonusable at FFL.
I like
so
that.
for BP bonuses, for other incentives that rely on bonusable premium, it's 100% bonusable, which is pretty exciting.
That's great.
The others are 25%.
25 and 50.
And mostly 25.
Other
Those carriers shall remain nameless on
other carriers
in respect to Brett.
One other carrier is 50 for all business.
Yeah.
Now,
So that should hopefully make a difference. But there's more, Albert, if you don't mind. I've got a whole lot more to share.
Yeah. The floor is yours.
Share away.
For every Ethos IUL policy that you write between launch on Monday and the end of this year, you'll earn $150 worth of leads to reinvest in your business. I was happy to hear you talking about leads and the investment you need to make in those. So that's hopefully a great incentive, in addition to the really competitive comp and the 100% bonusability of the product. There's also something else which you'll see if you watch the training or join one of the live trainings, which is pretty exciting as well. Top 50 Ethos IUL writers from Monday through the end of the year are going to be entered into a sweepstakes to win a car, which we're going to be giving away at the FFL annual convention next year.
Wow.
What kind of car?
We'll share that in due course.
I see.
Rest assured that will be one that would appeal to your typical FFL agent. So it won't be a Toyota Corolla. Let's just say that.
Rolls Royce.
There'll be some
Toyota Lexus.
qualification criteria. At least $12,000 of planned annual premium between Monday and the end of the year, which shouldn't be that difficult if you're a top 50 writer. And there'll be some minimum persistency requirements. Again, with this type of product, the persistency is usually great, and so those shouldn't be issues. But excited about that car sweepstakes giveaway. And then finally, even if you are in California, remember you can sell this to clients who are resident in other states. The first 100 agents to write an Ethos IUL policy will get a free iPad. So start lining up your appointments today for clients outside of California to be one of those first lucky agents when the product goes live on Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern time.
I hope Elite gets a lot of these iPads, just saying for all you guys out there. Were you done in terms of the benefits and perks?
Thanks for letting me go off on that tirade.
No, please. We want to make sure we get it all sequentially. But I had another question. This is from Darren White. How are the IULs set up? Is it set up for like max funding? Is it for minimal insurance? I mean, is there like a default setting? And then also, can we tailor and adjust them accordingly if we're focusing more on death benefit versus cash value or whatever it may be?
Cash accumulation,
Yeah, that is a great question. So we do have a default setting, which we're calling Smart Solve. This is probably going to be what most agents use, we think. Our Smart Solve options, we've got two Smart Solve options. They enable agents with basic experience with IULs to produce beautiful quotes and illustrations for their clients simply by entering either their client's monthly premium budget or their client's desired coverage. And then the Smart Solve illustrations would be based on those level monthly premiums, which would endow at age 121. Again, as I said earlier, with the default assumption that they're invested in that S&P 500 one-year point-to-point account. For agents that are more experienced with IUL, who perhaps don't use that Smart Solve approach, we do offer as well 3 advanced solve options. Those 3 advanced solve options are producing illustrations that either maximize your cash value, maximize your death benefit coverage, or maximize your retirement income. So when you look at the training, you'll see that it will be very prominent to choose the Smart Solve options, one of the 2 Smart Solve options, and they're really intuitive. But for agents who want to work with maximizing either accumulation or death benefit, those options are also available.
Okay, great. And then what was the question I was asked? So as far as the illustration, you put in their basic data and you click a button and an illustration will pop up.
Absolutely, yeah. And we do lay this out in the training, which I would encourage you to go and have a look
That's
at.
awesome.
But I think not to stick my neck out too far, but this is by far the best illustration software for IUL for both agents and clients that exists today, hands down. It's super intuitive, clear and informative. And as I said, that the illustration flows seamlessly into the application. You don't have to change platforms or re-enter any information. Literally for Smart Solve, you'd be entering a few basic details about the client, gender, date of birth, name, and your estimate of their risk class, and their desired premium or coverage amount. And the illustration is going to pop up right there real time that you can take the client through. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I have a question on that as far as application. As you know, with the other term products with Ethos, I can send the link to my client. The client, I can either walk through it with my client or the client can fill it out themselves. So I can have the conversation on the telephone.
Right.
When we're talking about the illustration, how does that work? Can I send my link and then I just walk it through the same way?
Yeah, excellent question, John. This would be a little different in that because it's obviously a more complex product. This can only be sold with the client either on the phone or on a Zoom call, or if you're in person with the client. There won't be the option to just send a link and ask the client to complete the application on their own. There's some regulatory requirements on you as an agent to actually make sure you review the illustration with the client, either over the phone or in person, and then also the contents of the application itself. And so the only way to sell this is agent assisted at the moment. But that said, we've made it still really, really easy and seamless for you as an agent to be able to go through that process very easily with the client.
Does the illustration need to be signed by the client and submitted at the time, or is it something in the application where you can just push it through?
The illustration does need to be signed, but with Ethos, that can be done digitally. So as I say, Ethos makes it really streamlined and easy for the agent and the client. So how it will work is immediately after completing the insurance questionnaire digitally on your computer, on your iPad, but before you capture the payment information details from your client, you as an agent will need to confirm just by ticking 2 checkboxes that you've reviewed the illustration and the application with the applicant. And then for more than 90% of applicants, they're going to get an instant decision. And once they get approved, the client's going to get an email with a button to click to review their policy documents, which includes the illustration and the application, and activate their policy digitally. So no physical signatures required, and that's how easy the process is for them to e-sign.
You don't know how happy this makes us as uplines,
awesome.
as like managers, to have the illustration already built in where it self generates on there. Because the thing is, like, when we have another carrier, the agents will be like, "Hey, can you run me an illustration?" I'm like, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it."
Not just that, but then you have to upload it. It needs a
Then you gotta
specific
send it out,
signature.
then you gotta explain to them and all that stuff. So like this simplifies the process so much, and to have everything all in one simple process.
Yeah, no jokes. It's going to be 15 minutes from quote to getting a decision.
Illustration.
So
sign me up, literally. All right. Well, got another question for you. I'm not sure if you know this specific one, but is there a cap to the S&P 500 cap to the accrediting strategies?
The interest rates.
Cap rates?
Yeah. So one of the things that's going to be in the resources section of your Ethos agent portal is a rate sheet that gets updated monthly. The cap rate for our default index, that S&P 500 1 year, is currently 8.25%, but we also have uncapped options. So those other indices I mentioned, most of them actually are uncapped. While I'm talking about caps, I might as well also talk about illustrated rates and participation rates. So our current illustration rates are between 5.25 and 5.38%, depending on index. The participation rate for our default S&P 500 index is currently 100%, but we have participation rates for the other indices that go as high as 270%. So you've really, as an agent, got the full range of options when you're looking at illustrated rates, cap rates, and participation rates.
Is there a minimum guarantee, or is that a zero?
0. minimum guarantee. So there's a 0% floor on all of the accounts.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then this has been answered before. It's on the questions. Misha asked, do we get paid full commission on their own policy? Oh, do agents get paid full on their own policy?
Yes, you do, Misha. I would say this is a little different to the other Ethos policies sold by FFL agents in that we only advance 9 months on this product, not the 12 months that you would on the term. But again, these policy sizes are usually at least double what a typical term policy size would be. So a 9-month advance on that is still very attractive.
Still very fair.
They're used to it.
Yeah, well, and that's what we have across the board for most other carriers anyway.
Yeah.
Is there a cap for the advances for commissions?
Yeah, typically it's going to be $3,500.
Okay.
Speak to your upline if you would like that removed and see if they will approve that. Remember, any commissions that need to be clawed back would need to be clawed back from your upline. I think in general that's going to be a good thing for uplines in order to cover
to protect them.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's protecting the agent as well. I mean,
absolutely.
You're gonna get paid that money anyway. It's just you don't get to go blow it all at once.
Right. Darren asked earlier, what time does it start? He mentioned it at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Perfect answer. 9 a.m. Eastern time on Monday, October 2nd. It will go live.
Yeah, I was joking with Brett. I was like, I'm getting one of these iPads. I'm going to sign myself up. I was like, I'm going to wait. When it hits like 12:01 midnight, I'm gonna get on there. I'm going to do an application for myself. But turns out California is not approved yet, and actually it starts at 9 a.m. Eastern, so I wouldn't have to stay up to do that anyway.
You got to find some buddies in Vegas.
Yeah. All right.
Any other IUL questions? Specifically, we're going to ask additional Ethos questions.
Well, that's all. It's all really cool stuff. If you guys have any other questions, just drop in the chat. We'll get the questions out to Brett. But let's see. I think we covered pretty much.
Yeah, maybe as you've just mentioned, debt, right? This is not necessarily specific to the IUL product, but it would be all Ethos products.
Right.
If any agents or uplines have questions about debt or questions about chargebacks or want to pay back debt in advance, the recommended way to do that is to just email agentdebt@getethos.com, and your query or your question or your request will be seen to ASAP if you get it to that specific mailbox.
Great, that's super helpful. Well, I had one question pertaining to the underwriting for the IUL product.
Yeah.
Does credit score impact a client's ability to be able to get approved for this? Because we've had other couple IUL carriers, people applied, they're healthy, but then credit score, that thing popped up. And then they get declined and they get rated. I mean, does that impact this particular product?
Yeah, like with our other Ethos products, Albert, credit score itself is not used in underwriting, but we do use a proprietary scoring algorithm that includes credit information to predict the relative mortality risk of individuals. And that predicted mortality risk is used in underwriting, just like it is for our term business. Both to determine whether it's possible to make an offer for the product, and if it is, which risk class they get put into. So I think the short answer is yes, sort of, in that we don't directly use credit score, but credit score is an input into a algorithm which predicts mortality, and that's the reason it does affect.
So for an example, if a client is completely healthy, no medical issues, no habit issues, but bad credit, will they get approved then, or will they go down a substandard rate?
That either could happen. They could either be downgraded, or depending how bad the credit rating is, they might indeed just get rerouted to the True Stage Advantage whole life product.
Wow. Okay. And then I think we didn't get to ask, what are the age groups for this? What's the max age? What's the minimum age?
Yeah, this is for adults. John, you're asking all the good questions today. So minimum age
Finally.
20.
Thank you. Someone recognizes it.
Minimum age is 20, maximum age is 65. So, really anyone who's earning an income, able to save, they'll be able to purchase the product right now.
So nothing for children as of yet.
Nothing for children at this point.
Fair enough.
Some policies from other carriers have like a minimum 20-year guarantee or until age 80. So if you do run into a 65-year-old, is there any guarantees on their side for as far as minimums?
So you would have the regular 0% floor that you would have on the product. And
well, guarantees is as I said, no lapse or guaranteed death benefit in a situation.
Yes, we do have essentially what is like a no lapse rider, which is included at no cost as part of every Ethos IUL policy. So yes, not only for older folks, but even for younger folks, that no cost rider is included.
Awesome. Okay. I think that covers the majority of the questions that we had set up for you. Did we miss anything I shared from you earlier?
I think yeah, that was pretty comprehensive. Those were all great questions. I would just say, for folks watching this, what would I recommend you do next? I would say, if you haven't already, watch a recorded Ethos IUL training video. Albert, I'll also send this to you afterwards, but for those listening, it's ethoslife.events/FFL IUL recordings. You can go watch that today. So if you want to get a head start, you can learn everything you need to about the product. It will probably reinforce a lot of what I've shared here and also give you a lot of other amazing information. Also, start lining up appointments to start selling on Monday, October 2nd, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So that you can be one of those first 100 agents to win an iPad as one of the first Ethos IUL writing agents. And finally, just remember, you can only sell Ethos IUL, this product which has been specifically designed for and with FFL, through your Ethos agent portal. You can't sell it directly through Emeritus. So go to agents.ethoslife.com and you can, from Monday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time, start quoting and applying.
Right. And if you guys really want to win that iPad, if you guys aren't very familiar with the whole Ethos agent portal, I recommend you go on there right after this call, play around with it, get familiar with it, know how to navigate around on it, and then just be prepared. I mean, this is our job, and if you want to take it seriously and you want to be taken seriously, let's get on it. All right. Well, hey, Brett. Well, I mean, I really appreciate you taking the time. I mean, for always great to see you, obviously, and always great to be able to chat. And for anyone that wants to meet Brett, if you haven't met him yet, he's an awesome dude. He's actually going to be coming and joining us here at the LA Sales Conference, October 23rd, nearby this office. It's over near LAX at the Proud Bird. Mm-hmm. So Brett will be there. He'll be sharing more about this IUL product. I promise you, he's a very friendly guy. So if you guys want to go up and ask him any questions about the IUL or Ethos in general, go up to him, introduce yourself. He'd love to speak to you.
Albert, it's been a pleasure being with you all. Thanks so much, and looking forward to seeing you in person at the conference.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, when you come down, we'll catch some Top Golf or grab dinner or something.
Sounds amazing. Can count on it.
Look forward to it. Okay. Well, appreciate your time. And for everyone else that was on here, whatever you guys learned today, let's go apply some of that. Let's not just continue to get these lessons and sit on it. There's information that can help improve your life, can improve your business. So it's all on us to continue to put in that work, put in that time. And if we can do that, we'll continue to move just a little bit further. And then once you get there, you'll figure out what the next step is. So appreciate all you guys getting on. Let's go be elite, guys.
October 2nd.
Thanks, guys.
6 a.m.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys once again for supporting. If you guys want to see more of that, please make sure you like, subscribe, click on this link here to subscribe. Click on this link for the next video.